Hey, aloha, and welcome. The Spirit of Sports, brought to you by Not Pods. YouTube at Not Pods, my channel. This is Uncle Richie coming to you little past high noon today. I got a couple apologies. One, one apology, as I told you yesterday, to Jay Norvell, Joey, and all the Colorado State Rams, anyone associated with that program. I was poo-pooing him, talking smack about the sunglasses and the hat. I was one of the ones piling on saying you're going to get beat 70-14, and I was dead wrong, and I want to apologize for that. I'm sorry. It's a good life lesson. Good lesson for this career of mine is maybe when someone knows their team better than I do and they have conviction and they believe something, maybe don't be so judgmental and questioning. Maybe give them the benefit of the doubt. So that's my first apology. Second apology, yesterday I was showing Red Zone on my camera, excuse me, and I had 3.5 hours deleted by YouTube because I wasn't sure how that worked. I probably in the back of my head knew that that's illegal, and apparently it is. So for misuse of content, 3.5 hours of my talkathon Sunday 4-hour show was deleted and erased. So I apologize for that. And on the same apology note, I think I can't do a talkathon on Sundays. I can't be live during Red Zone too much because there's too much going on. I need to be taking my notes. I apologize that I'm not going to have the time to watch every single play of every single game. If I want to also watch all the Nick Wright and get all my info, Good Morning Football games, live games. I put every waking moment into this, but it's still not enough time to be able to get all my info and watch every single game. So I will be suspending my talkathon. I think what I'm going to do is when I give up my job and when I have enough going here that this is my career, I think that's when I'm going to start. Barkley out for 3 weeks. I think that's when I'm going to start. I'm going to do an actual 24-hour talkathon marathon. I will sit at my computer. I'll start like 7 p.m. and go to 7 p.m. straight. Get up to eat, have people over, or just talk. So that's my plan. Sorry, people, I'm not going to be doing Red Zone Sunday. I'll do maybe post-game recap or maybe Red Zone Sunday in the afternoon slot when there's only 4 games going on. Scott Hansen's got a tough job, I tell you. I respect that guy. And so I apologize to Jay Norvell, CSU, my friend Joey. I apologize that I got canceled on 3.5 hours of a show and that I won't be able to do my talkathon, 24-hour talkathon marathon. And I won't be able to watch every single snap of every single game, which I said that I would. My eyes were bigger than my stomach on that one. And I also apologize. I'm running late today. Thank goodness it wasn't work. I set the alarm like a dumb ass. I set the alarm for 11:32 p.m. and slept until 12:37. Took the kid to school, watched a couple hours of Good Morning Football. It's going to be my favorite show. I used to be a Cowherd guy. He's 4th on the list now. Sorry, Colin. You want to give me a call maybe? I'll put you back on top. But that's the deal. Just want to take like a nice hour nap. I do work tonight, 4:45. Don't want to do that anymore. So I went to take an hour nap around 10:15. Set the alarm for 11:30, and woke up at 12:40 and said, what the heck? And I said, alarm on, looked at my phone, 11:32 p.m. Rookie move as it gets. So what else can I say? 3 apologies. Let's get to it. This is Monday, September 18th. This is Uncle Richie. I am live just past high noon. It's high 1 Hawaiian time here in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Not going to tell you exactly where with my scruff on. Not going to tell you where. If you know, you know, and one day soon you will know, but I'm not going to tell you. I will say that it is 1 o'clock p.m. Hawaiian time. Got a Monday Night Football doubleheader, so I'm going to have an eye on that. Maybe do a little bit of play-by-play here and there. But got a pretty good show today. We're going to do week 2 recap. I got my backseat quarterback. Not as many notes as I should because trying to be live, that's not my time slot. I'll probably stick to high noon on Sundays too, and we can do like the last hour of those games. It's kind of fun being on and calling a play here and there, but with 8 games going, I got to take my notes. I got to be on it because backseat quarterback. It's going to be one of my favorite shows. I think it's going to be one of my best shows, but I got to be on it as I'm watching the game. So it's kind of like the backseat driver and then the Monday morning quarterback. During the game, I'm saying, what the hell are you doing? And then on Monday, I'm saying, what the hell are you doing? Backseat quarterback coming at you. I got a panic room. It's not even a panic button. I got a panic room. We're going to put about 4 or 5 teams in there. Not a place you want to be. It's like the night when everything's legal and they're going on murder rampage. That one movie, I forget the name. You got to go in your panic room. It's about 5, 6 NFL teams that might want to think about jumping into the panic room. We will also talk survivor strategy today. So it's all NFL all the time. But I do want to start with a little bit more of primetime Neon Deion Sanders, Colorado Buffaloes. I did apologize to Jay Norvell for his comments and why you're poking at the bear, why you're stirring up the wasp nest. But I tell you what, he had the better team. He had them ready to play. They were more physical. They were quite a bit dominant for most of the game. I got a good friend, Joey. He's in San Diego. Huge Ram fan. Went to Colorado State. Complaining, and understandable, 17-10 on the penalties. 182 yards, 100 more yards penalties. I watched the whole game. I just finished the second half last night. I got to say, a lot of flags, but there was nothing too egregious. He says they don't even show the replays of the penalties. Almost every foul that I saw kind of had to be called. And I'm a conspiracy guy with the best of them. You'll see throughout the season my Under the Hood show. Nothing egregious this week. I probably won't talk too much on that. But there's going to be plays that you look at it and go, things that make you go, what? I didn't see any yesterday. Week 1, not really. There was one play in the Washington game, but that is coming. So I can be just as much of a conspiracy guy. I don't believe in the magic bullet. I don't believe in the COVID shot. Conspiracy is real. I didn't really see it in the Colorado State game. Bad penalties, dumb penalties, egregious on the Rams' part, but not a whole lot of room to bitch. You gave up a 98-yard touchdown drive with under 2 minutes to go. I think you dominated that game, and it just came down to you couldn't finish. But much respect to Jay Norvell and that team. And they went in there in one of the most electric spots in a long time. What Coach Prime is doing for that community. So can't back you on that one. I'm sorry. Backseat driver. Let's get back. Let's get to backseat quarterback. I'm going to start out. I looked at every game. It's still Monday. There's 2 more games left, but if there's something big, we'll talk about them tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be. Tomorrow's That's What He Said. Some under the hood. If there's anything to talk about there. Fantasy studs and duds and waiver wire. That's all tomorrow. Today, backseat quarterback. First thing I want to look at is turnovers and penalties and how they correlate to wins and losses. So I went through all 14 games from Thursday through the Sunday night game last night. There were 1, 2. There were only 3 teams that had less turnovers and won the game. 11 teams won the turnover battle and won the game. Only KC had 3 turnovers, so Jacksonville's 1. The Giants had one turnover. Arizona had 0. Green Bay, same, 1 turnover. Atlanta, 0. All the rest, and 10 of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those 11 winners had 0 turnovers. New England had 1, or New England had 2. Oh, Miami had 1 turnover. 10 of the 11 winners had 0 turnovers. Value the ball. That's why when I look at, and you knew he was going to have a great game, 2 or 3 good games, Josh Allen coming. That's why I took them in my survivor pool. Because I see troubles down the road. He does this, but he has what? 84 turnovers since 2018. It's the most in the league. Not to mention 748 unnecessary hits. So that guy needs to tighten it up, and you knew he would, and he's gonna tighten it up. But turnovers kill you. It's obvious. I'm gonna do that every year, every week. So that's 10 out of 14. No, 11 out of 14. Win the turnover battle, you win the game. Now, penalties, I was a little surprised. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of the teams that won had more penalties. Philadelphia had 5 more penalties than Minnesota. As did Seattle. Beat Detroit on the road with 5 more penalties. KC had 12 more penalties. 12-2 on the penalties and still win the game. And they lose. KC's an outlier. They lose the turnover battle 3-1. They lose the penalty battle 12-2 and win 17-9. That's just a weird game. Indy had 5 more penalties than Houston. So the penalties correlation didn't really work out as much, but 100% turn the ball over, you're going to lose. That's a backseat quarterback fact from Uncle Richie. This is Uncle Richie. This is the Spirit of Sports, live just after 1 o'clock Hawaiian time, getting ready for kickoff of Monday Night Football, game 1 of the doubleheader, New Orleans at Carolina. We'll talk about it tomorrow, but my 4-pack, I went 3-0. Colin Cowherd's 0-4. He's 0-9 on the season on his Blazing 5. And the 2 guys that I follow, Nick Wright he does 3, so he's 0-4-1, waiting on this game. I'm 3-0 this week, and I have New Orleans -3. And I was 2-2 last week. I was 11-4 against the pick, 11-3 against the spread, which I do on Thursdays. So it's not like I'm just saying that's what I did. I give you my picks on Thursdays. We talk about it on Tuesday. So that's pretty exciting, man. I could be making some money if I'm in Vegas. Backseat quarterback. We got O-line issues, bro. O-line issues. Just people don't want to play O-line. I don't know if they're getting developed as well. Defensive linemen are animals, but seems like lots of sacks, lots of quarterback pressure, lots of trouble running the ball, lots of guys running free in the backfield. Question marks prevail around the NFL. Couple no calls. KC game had a PI not called. Houston, would you run the damn ball? I don't care. Your offensive line sucks. Run the ball. Would they throw the ball? 40-some, 50 times. They had 54 last week, I believe. Let me check this out. This shit gets irritating. 47 throws last week. Or this week. 47 throws this week. 44 throws last week. So you're throwing the ball almost 50 times and you run the ball 20, 50 to 20. It's crap. I'm telling you. Got a bruising running back. You can wear down a defense. Set Hut on the ball. I talk about it all the time. You can call it the John Madden scheme, blocking sled, bowling ball, sledgehammer, ramrod. You get on the ball, you say, set Hut. Your offensive linemen are 3-point stance, sprinter stance, ready to go. There's no 3, blue, 82, 16, 382, 16, 25. Hey, set Hut, Hut, hey, up on the ball. Freeze, laser. None of that. Every second that the offensive lineman is in the 3-point stance, it diminishes your ability to win that play. Offense. What's the first step on pass blocking? Is a defensive action. You're stepping backwards. Offense is go forward. Slam them in the mouth. Set Hut on the ball. Muddle, no huddle. Muddle around the ball. Set Hut. Pound the rock. And especially Houston, it's frustrating. Plus, I have Damian Pearson, 2 of my big leagues. Guy's killing me. I'm in dead last in a 15-teamer. Backseat quarterback your own ass, Richie. That's what he said. I give myself as much crap as anybody. Baltimore had back-to-back holding calls right before the half. Dumb penalties doesn't correlate as much to winning and losing in week 1 or in week 2. I'm going to tell you dumb penalties. And I'll tell you the number one team that dumb penalties is almost like dumb penalties is just their MO. The LA Chargers. I got a backseat quarterback a little bit on the LA Chargers. It's a cultural thing. It's systemic. It's just been so long. It's a culture of bad losses, dumb penalties, and terrible clock and game management, kicker woes, terrible play calling, going for it on 4th down when you shouldn't, not going for it on 4th down when you should, etc., 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 for decades. And if I had to have a team, since I dumped the Raiders because how crappily they've been run for 3 decades, and they won Super Bowls when I was a kid. And if I had to say I have a favorite team, I root for the Chargers. Staley's not the answer. It's deer in the headlights. It's the same crap year after year after year. Lynn wasn't the answer before him. I don't think you've had an answer since you guys fired Schottenheimer after going 13-3. The one guy you never should have fired, you fire. The 4 guys that you should fire or not even hire, you hire and you don't fire. You know they're one of my teams in my panic room. Figure it out. Culture, coach, quarterback. The 3 C's, as I say, because quarterback is CUAR. Coach, culture, quarterback. You got one of them. You got a quarterback. You're light years away on coach, and you're generations, decades away on culture. And we are about to kick off Monday Night Football. So yeah, the Chargers right before the half, third down, going to get them off the field, playing Tennessee, who has no right even being in the game with you. Spend all your money on defense and give up drive after drive after drive, 36 points to Miami. Bro, right before the half, third down, two dumbass penalties. Cost you the game. You had an INT on third down. They would have had to punt. Then fourth down, a roughing the passer that they would have had to punt. And then they go, did they kick a field goal or score a touchdown even? Let me double check here, people. But it's the kind of stuff that makes me yell at the TV and want to punch something. It is just so frustrating. And I'm glad that I'm not a huge fan. Right before the half. Yeah, kick a field goal. So you're up 14-7. You have two terrible, stupid ass penalties that give them a field goal that would have got you off the field. And you're up 17-10. But at 14-10 and a half, but no, you're up. You would be up 14-7 and a half. Instead, you're up 14-10. Just lose an OT. Get the ball first. Go incomplete. You rushed for 200 and some yards last week. You pass the ball 3 freaking times and punt and give up a freaking field goal. Look at 13 rushes for Kelly for 39 yards. Last week you had 250 yards rushing. Just blows my mind, bro. There was a Mac Hollins review actually under the hood. Where was the money on that? There's Mac Hollins. It looked like his toes first touch, and then he went. They looked at it for a while. They called it a touchdown on the field, and then was overturned. There, you know what? There was possibly one under the hood call, which is supposed to be part of tomorrow's show, but we can talk about it today. So Mac Hollins, what's the money on his game? Where the hell is he? Bear with me, people. I gotta find that play. So it was the Falcons game. 3rd down and 2 for Derek Carr. Throws across the middle, and it is caught. Mike Thomas. Can't guard Mike. First down. This will give me a 4-0 week if New Orleans can cover the 3. So Mac Hollins had the review. Atlanta, where was the money? 52-48, so it didn't really matter. Money was on Green Bay. So I guess you can't go under the hood on that one. It's when the money's 50-50. It doesn't really matter too much, but I thought that was pretty questionable. Seemed like the toes were in. Then the heels went down, and they called it a touchdown on the field, but dumbass penalties everywhere. So the same KC tackle, I don't even want to know his name, that was lined up off the ball half the game on last Monday night or Sunday night, finally got called this week. Quite a few penalties on that guy. Seems like there's so many reviews. NFL, they could tidy up some games. They talk about game speed, talk about wanting to slow the game down. They take a lot of time in huddling up with the officials. They take a lot of time on, I guess you want to get it right. I guess it's not really a Green Bay illegal shift that would have kept the drive alive on the last drive of the game. Just a lot of dumb penalties. I saw this 4 or 5 times. 4th down in a yard or 4th and even inches. I hate the tush push that Philly started. It should be illegal, but it's probably a better option than handing the ball off out of the shotgun, handing the ball off 8 yards in the backfield. So the running back needs to gain 9 yards basically to get a first down on 4th and 1. I've never understood it. I can see play action. I can see that. And, I'll have a lot more in weeks to come. No more Red Zone Sunday with Uncle Richie. For one, I got in trouble. For two, I got to take notes. I got to be watching the game more. So we'll probably go back to high noon. Maybe we'll do the afternoon games. And I don't know what I'll be doing on Sundays. Maybe it'll be me and Eric watching the games. Week 2 wrap up. Let's talk some football. I'm going to go game by game, just a little bit of analysis, a little bit of fantasy. Philly beat Minnesota. 4 turnovers. Are you kidding me? 4 turnovers. And it wasn't Kirk Cousins. 4 freaking fumbles, bro. And you lose by 6 points. I mean, I picked Philly and didn't really care. Run the ball 9 times. Alexander Madison, bro. Was he not ready for prime time? JJ 11 for 159. Yeah. Philly offense, they're 2-0. Not looking great, which is kind of scary for the rest of the league. But get your stuff together, Minnesota. 4 freaking fumbles. Green Bay blew it. Atlanta was a couple ballsy calls. Down 11 and going for it on 4th and 4 for when you can kick an easy chip shot field goal and make it. Arthur Smith. Kyle Brandt has to keep his mustache, which I don't mind it. But Green Bay, full control of that game. Another one of those play calling, maybe run the clock a little more. A.J. Dillon. How many carries did he get? 15 carries, I guess. 25 rushes, 15, 19. The balance was okay. Kudos to Atlanta. Buffalo, that's what Josh Allen does. He'll have a crapper. He'll have a stinker. Have the 4 turnovers. Then it'll go 3 or 4 weeks. Solid. That's why I took them in my survivor pool. Solid. It's going to be solid for a few, but this will happen again in about 4 or 5 weeks. You have to rein him in again. You'll lose to somebody like the Jets. He'll have a crap game. Bro, it's obvious. The Raiders are who we thought they were. Week 1's a liar. Week 2 tells the truth for the most part. And going forward, Buffalo 38-10. Atlanta was a last-minute field goal, 25-24. Baltimore at Cincy. Cincy looks off. Calf strain is back. Missing preseason for an appendectomy is different than missing preseason with a calf strain. And he hobbled off the field, Joe Burrow. They lost 27-24. I think Lamar Jackson's coming around. I think getting a little more comfortable in that offense as the weeks go by. MVP. Oh, very first play. Bryce Young takes a shot. Is that guy going to last a whole season? That guy is spindly. That guy looks minuscule. The Saints had to punt. Now it's Panther ball. 11 minutes and change to go. First quarter. 0-0. Monday Night Football. Uncle Richie. The spirit of sports. We're talking sports. We're talking life. And we're talking NFL for sure. Here's a run right up the gut. Miles Sanders breaks through. And he's going to pick up about 15 yards. Right up the gut off the left side of that line. Led by so-and-so and so-and-so. If I had a spotter, I would know their names. Nice play. Yeah, Baltimore looking, they're coming around. Struggle last week. When you struggle and you're 2-0, that's good things to come. Seattle and OT, blown holding call, but I don't pontificate on that. If they blow a call on replay, that's big issues with me. Officials are going to make mistakes. Officials are going to miss plays. Seattle wins in OT 37-31. I believe. Yep, Detroit 3 turnovers. Seattle with none. There you go. Chargers lose. Dumb penalties, dumb calls, clock management, I'm sure. Game management, I'm sure. Defensive coach gives up 27 points, gave up 36 last week. Spend all your money on defense, got a defensive coach, and you can't figure out that side of the ball. And you have kicker issues always. And you have dumb penalties. And you just suck in general. We're going to SoFi to watch the Chargers get their ass blown on Monday Night Football, October 17th. I will be there. Oh, big news, by the way. I get to use this now. I can be live on my phone, which is huge, huge. So the show's going non-local. Show's traveling show with Uncle Richie. Coming up October 5th, we're leaving. I'll be in Oregon for about 9 days. 11 days in Oregon, a couple days in LA, taking the kid to Disneyland. Exciting times. 3rd and 3, get it to Thielen. Thielen breaks a tackle and he's across for a first down. New Orleans in business, Carolina in business inside the New Orleans 40. First down. I might have miscalled this one. So that's a recap. Detroit, 3 turnovers. Goff played pretty well. Only 1 pick. 323, 3 touchdowns, 28-35. Can't live with 3 turnovers when the other team doesn't turn it over. Chicago, there's a button, there's a room. Tampa, 27-17, the surprise of the league. 2-0 Tampa. Beat Minnesota and Chicago. Kansas City, 17. Jacksonville, just 9 points. Jacksonville had 1 turnover. KC had 3. KC had 12 penalties to 2 and still win the game. They're scary. I'm just glad they lost. Nick Wright, 0 for 1. But they are scary, people. Indy, they look like a real team, bro. 31-20. Houston does not. Houston's O-line. Let's check out a play. 1st and 15. Bryce Young out of the shotgun. 8:50 and counting at the 44-yard line of New Orleans. He has trips left. Got Chuba Hubbard to his right. Here's a snap. 3-step drop. Looking left. Now he feels some pressure. Rolling right. And he's going to run it out of bounds and just right around the line of scrimmage. Dead play. 2nd and 15. Indy. AR5 if he stays healthy. I hope. I have him in four fantasy leagues as my backup / trade bait down the road. Love the guy. Can't be taking those shots though, bro. This is the NFL. When you say the NFL means not for long, that's especially true with running quarterbacks that take hits. Not for long. 2nd and 15. Let's go to Monday Night Football. Once again, out of the shotgun, empty backfield. Young stops back pass, has a pocket. Now he feels pressure. Going to roll out left. Now he's going to roll back to the right, dancing around, throws it up in the air, and throws it away. Out of bounds. Incomplete. 3rd down and 15 coming up. Continue on the NFL Week 2 review. The Spirit of Sports, Uncle Richie. San Fran, not so dominant. 30-23. Bad beat. McVay kicks a last-second field goal down 10 on an 8-point spread. That was classic. And I had the Rams +8 in one of my 4-packs. Thank you, Sean McVay. Thank you for helping me to help my viewers. That was beautiful. Giants. 3rd and 15. Across the middle, caught. No flag. Going to be 4th down. Monday Night Football. I'm doing a little review and I'm doing a little bit of Monday Night Football. How's the Giants down 20-0 at half? They were down 60-0 after 6 quarters of football. Daniel Jones comes in. What a resurgence. Leads a 20-point comeback. They win it on a last-second field goal. Arizona blown. I'm not even putting them in the panic room because there's nothing to panic about. They were, I don't know, weren't they on a dump this season? Go get your quarterback. Up and good. Pinheiro. And the Panthers take a 3-0 lead. So, yeah, Arizona blows a big lead, which in the long run will be good for them. My friend E stays alive in our, we are doing a Survivor pool, $100, $25,000 pool. We're kind of, talking to each other about it. He went Giants. It was not looking good. I'm not sure the Jets are as bad as they looked. I think the Dallas D, I hate to say, is that Dallas D that damn good? And is the Jets D maybe just Sauce had a pick 6 he dropped, could have changed the game. That the whole Dak thing would have come up again if Sauce makes that pick 6. There's worries in Dallas. It's a 3-point game. The whole dynamic of the season might change. Monday morning backseat quarterback. Forgot about that one. That was a big one. Pick 6 right in his hand, Sauce Gardner, and he dropped it. Would have gone 70 yards the other way. They might have even taken the lead. And then all the question marks come up and all the insecurities come up. And said Dak has a, pretty much error-free game. Everybody's on Dallas. I don't want to be on Dallas all year. I'm over them. But they do dominate 30-10. Washington down what? Were they down 21-0? Is that the deal? Back-to-back second half stinkers by Denver. That is troubling. I will say that is troubling. They were down 21-3 early in the second quarter. Washington come back, win the game. How many yards did Denver give up? They both had pushing 400 total yards. Washington controlled time of possession. Denver gave up 7 sacks, had 9 penalties, 2 turnovers. That's Sean Payton. Weren't you confused and bitching about the coaching? Don't sacks, turnovers, and penalties have a lot to do with coaching? Is this 2 games in a row that it looks a lot like last year? Just saying. Nick Wright said it well last week. Then we go to Miami, Monday Night Football. Going to New England, Tua's 5-0 against the great one. Belichick's not the great one without Tom. Tom won a Super Bowl without him. He can't win a playoff game or much less hardly a game. What's he need? 23 wins, 30-some wins to be the all-time. Stuck at 298. I don't know if it's going to happen in New England. Maybe he should have gone to Chargers. I don't know. Kick return straight out to the 25. That's a recap. Tua unbeaten. New England can't get it done. I got a panic room over here. It's right over there. And this is that night where there's no laws and everybody can kill everybody. And there's, I'm not sure how many teams. We're going to go through the league and look at how many teams need to maybe jump in that panic room. Because it's not good. Carr throws across his body and caught. Nothing stupid. Cardinals, no, you're fine. Falcons, you're fine. Ravens, you're fine. Bills, after week 1, you were thinking about it. You had your foot in the door, you're fine. Panthers, we'll see. Chicago Bears. Timeout. Chicago Bears. Panic City. You just lost to Tampa. You got horse raced by Green Bay, your nemesis, in week 1 at home. And then you lose to Tampa, who everybody was calling for to be the worst team in the league. Straight to the panic room. Chicago Bears. I want the Bengals to join you. 0-2, hurt quarterback, missing the preseason once again. O-line woes, threw a pick at the goal line, hobbled off the field, 0-2. No team's gone 0-2 2 years in a row and made the playoffs both. Get in there. Browns, you're fine. Cowboys, you're fine. Broncos, I want you to join them. So my panic room so far. Week 2. Got the Bears, joined by the Bengals. I want the Broncos. Broncos definitely got to be in there. Below 2 leads, 1 big lead. Coaching doesn't look great. Russell looks okay. Doesn't look like his old self. Threw a couple nice deep throws. And it's so just, I mean, what a heartbreak. Ecstasy to agony when you, last play of the game, 50-yard, Hail Mary, tipped around 3 times. Your guy catches it. Your elation fills the stadium, and then you got to go for 2, and you can't get to 2. That just feels like Denver this year. Can't get to 2. That could be a segment. Get in there. Lions, you're okay. Packers, you're okay. Houston, nobody expected much. I like the Colts. Jags, you're okay. Chiefs, Raiders, LA Chargers. And it's just still weird to say that. Pack your bags and get in there because they're coming after your ass. They're looting, they're pillaging, they're raping, they're killing the city. And I think you need to be in that room. You got issues. You got game and clock management issues. You got a coach issue. You don't have a quarterback issue. Sometimes you got an O-line issue. Big issues. You got a culture issue. This is a habit. This is a habit for the Chargers. This is not an outlier. Have a lead the whole game, give up a last-second field goal, probably miss one along the way. This is what you do. Panic room for sure. Rams, you're okay. Dolphins, you're fine. Vikings, I want you to join them. Minnesota Vikings. You go 11-0 in 1-score games. Of course, you're going to go 0-2 to start the next season. Numbers just add up. Or numbers just work out. It's just the way it is. Wait, how come it's 2nd and 10 when they completed a pass? I'm missing stuff. So Vikings get on in there. Oh my goodness. NEP. New England Panic Room. You're definitely in there. 0-2, both at home. Division rival. 5-0, Tua against you. 3rd and 5. Carr looks left, and that's a crappy pass. Oh, flag. We'll take it. I'm not sure about that. Where's the money on this game? You know, I could do shitty calls too and under the hood. New Orleans, 64% of the money. The call's on Carolina, so. Saints, you're fine. Giants, 6 quarters into the season, Giants were number 1 in the panic room. They were down 60-0 and then come back and, you know what, salvage your season. We'll see what happens. They're at 49ers next Thursday night, but I'm not putting the Jets there yet because they came back and had that big win in Buffalo or at home against Buffalo. They just ran into a juggernaut. And I have a little bit of belief in Zach Wilson. Carr, caught, can't guard Mike, 7 yards. Eagles, you're fine. Steelers, you're tonight away. 49ers, fine. Seahawks, fine. Tampa. Titans, Washington. Washington's 2-0. So, barring what happens tonight with Pittsburgh, I got 6 teams locked in a panic room as the hooligans just run roughshod over the neighborhood. Chicago Bears, Cincinnati Bengals, Denver Broncos, Taysom Hill, not. LA Chargers, Minnesota Vikings, New England Patriots, all 0-2. All had aspirations of being at least good. All had aspirations of making the playoffs, and you still can. 11%. That means probably none of you. 1 out of 10, 1 out of 11, or 1 out of 9. But I got 6 teams in the panic room. Lock the door. Get your soup and your ramen, your Bunsen burner. Get your bottled water. Get in that panic room. 6 teams. Pittsburgh's number 7 if you don't look good tonight. That's going to do it, folks. 45 minutes in the books once again. Sorry about sleeping in. 11:32 p.m. Apparently I thought I had to wake up, do my midnight show. I am live, though. I'm mobile. Remember back in the day, had the news van. You had the cameraman. You had the lady with the mic or the guy, kind of like Groundhog Day. Well, this is a news van right here. It's a camera. It's a microphone. You're live. And I just got the okay. So very excited for that. I'll be on the road starting Friday, October 6th through Wednesday, October 18th. Spirit of Sports at Not Pods on the road, Oregon, LA, SoFi. We'll do a show from outside of SoFi live. Super stoked on that. That'll wrap up my backseat quarterback. Not a whole lot going on week 2 because I was too much into trying to do Red Zone Sunday with Scott Hansen and getting kicked off. 3.5 hours wasted. So that's not going to be a thing. We'll do talkathon when I go full time on this, when I have enough money that this is my job, my first 24 hours, when I quit my other job, when this is my for sure career, that's when we will go 24-hour talkathon. I'll have people bring me breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Love you all. Go out there. Be better. I'm being better. I'm noticing when your attitude is good and you love unconditionally and you don't hold grudges and you forgive and you love yourself, you just feel better. You breathe better. You need less sleep. I did get a good nap in today. There's a lot of good comes of it. So I just want to say thank you so much. The ball's rolling. The snowball is rolling downhill. Grassroots. You tell 2 friends. They tell 2 friends. Uncle Richie's going to have a nice career. Thanks to you. You and you and you. Until we meet again, ahui ho and aloha. See you tomorrow.